Land Rovers inspire adventure. It's true whether you're climbing to the top of a Mayan temple in Guatemala, diving to the bottom of the Blue Lagoon in Iceland, or even going Scottish for the first time. On this occasion, the adventure is the Land Rover experience at Eastnor Castle in England's West Midlands. We're flying over to take advantage of the Land Rover driving experience with the current lineup of vehicles and one that we haven't seen for a while in the US, the Defender. Of course, we'll be spending a lot of time with the Range Rover Evoque, the vehicle that took home the North American Truck of the Year award for 2012. It'll be the first time we put the Evoque through its off-road paces and compared it to other Land Rovers that have traditional hardware like locking differentials and terrain control. Eastnor Castle is located in Herefordshire, England, in Britain's West Midlands. So once we've landed in Birmingham, we settle up in a fleet of Range Rovers and Land Rovers and drive through occasionally soggy territory. Once we arrive, we're not quite sure why some people call it a mock castle, because to us, it looks every bit of an authentic piece. It was built in the 19th century, though. Parts of it are actually a composite of older castles. It's a huge property, and Land Rover operates its driving school on a distant patch of land, far removed from the main house. Today, the Hervey Bathurst family still lives on the property. They're descendants from the family that actually built the castle in the 19th century.
The house was built, they started building the house, my mother's family started building the house 200 years ago last week. So we've just passed our 200th anniversary. We're still working on it. It's like the design of the Range Rover, it keeps improving a bit. But it took them about 7 years to build it, and then they didn't finish all the interiors in one go. So as you walk around, you'll see different styles of decoration. Sort of thing today, entertaining lots of people. Because when my family lived here, they didn't eat just with their 3 children in a room like this. We've got smaller rooms over there. So that's what furnishing this room was made by the designer of the room too. So the chandelier, the desk, the bookcase, the table. Yes, that is, yeah.
Now, you real estate followers will be interested in this. The house was originally built for about $130,000. A conservative estimate of its replacement cost today? About $45 million. Not including these guys, although they may have a keen interest in keeping an eye on things. The armed guards and a companion watch kitty keep an eye on things while our group makes its way out of the castle and ready to tackle Eastnor's challenging off-roading. Now, we've broken up into a couple of groups, but as you'll see, the Evoques go right along with the Range Rover Sports, the Defenders, and the LR4s. There are some parts of the trail where the Evoques won't be able to pass through, so we'll steer around those. But for the rest of the trip, we'll be pulling into the locking differentials and dragging through an awful lot of mud. Now, while many things have changed about Land Rover's off-road technology, most of its models still have a locking differential, which means that when the off-roading gets really challenging, all you have to do is activate the differential, and you'll have a fair shot at pulling out of the muck, the mud, or over the rocks. The Defender's having an easy time going through the toughest off-roading that we've encountered so far, and to our surprise, the Evoque is having a pretty easy time as well. Now, with the Evoque, you're getting basically an open differential system. It still has all-wheel drive, but instead of using a locking differential, it uses anti-lock braking to control wheel spin. It's a less rugged system for sure, but it's more in tune with what today's crossovers are coming equipped with. Part of the experience is trading in and out from Evoques to LR4s and even Range Rover Sports. And frankly, we've always been surprised at the Range Rover Sports off-road capability for something so upscale and something so sleek, but it really shouldn't come as a surprise. It does share the Range Rover name. Now, certainly fording is a word that has a double meaning at Land Rover these days, but in this sense it means that a Defender can crawl through almost 20 inches of water without having to use a snorkel for air. Now, some clever packaging allows the Evoque to have the same fording depth of about 19.7 inches. Now, we doubt that some of the owners of the Evoque, like Victoria Beckham, are going to use it to this extent, but it's comforting to know that it's got a lot of the off-road ability that's built into some other Range Rovers. After a few hours of off-roading and getting our shoes muddy, and getting the cars pretty muddy too, we were ready for some more castle time. They had a great espresso machine and we thought we smelled some rabbit cooking. Now, if you want to experience the Land Rover driving schools on your own, there are 4 locations in North America. There's one in Canada at Fairmont-le-Château-Montebello in Quebec, and 3 in the US. One at the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, one at the Equinox in Manchester Village, Vermont, and one at the Quail in Carmel, California. You can find out more from Land Rover's website at landrover.com. Of course, you can read more on our site, motorauthority.com, follow us on Facebook, or on Twitter at TheRealMA. I'm Marty Padgett. Thanks for joining us today.